Hey everyone, and welcome. So, did you know that manufacturers can lose up to a fifth of their entire productivity just to downtime? It's a massive number, and often it's caused by these tiny, almost invisible glitches on the factory floor. Today, we're going to break down how a complete visual record of the production line is helping companies get those lost millions back, one single frame at a time. Okay, let's start with a weird question. What if there was a ghost haunting your production line? I know, sounds kind of silly, but it's actually really expensive. This ghost shows up at random, stops a machine for just a couple of minutes, and then poof, it's gone, before anyone can figure out what on earth just happened. This is a real daily headache in manufacturing, and today we're going to unmask that ghost. You know, in the world of high-speed manufacturing, every single second is money. When a line stops, it's not just a little pause, it's this whole cascade of costs. You've got wasted materials, you might have late fees on shipments, and you have your best engineers being pulled away from important projects just to fight fires. And here's the crazy part. It's usually not the big, dramatic breakdowns that do the most damage. Nope, it's these little, intermittent faults. They happen again and again and again. A few minutes here, a few minutes there. And they just bleed your efficiency and your profits in a way that is incredibly hard to track. It is literally a death by 1,000 cuts. Now, you'd think with all the high-tech sensors and computers we have today, solving this would be a piece of cake. I mean, our machines are covered in sensors. They're run by these complex PLCs and SCADA systems, and they generate mountains of data. But for all that information, it often fails to answer the one question that really matters. This slide right here just perfectly nails the problem. Your machine's computer tells you what happened. It spits out an error code. In-feed jam. Okay. The data log says it was a 5-minute stop. Great. But it can't tell you why. Was the cardboard a little damp from humidity? Did a tiny belt slip for just a fraction of a second? Was one of the operator's settings just slightly off? The data alone just leaves you guessing. And being blind like this, it leads to this incredibly frustrating cycle for the maintenance teams. Without being able to actually see the root cause, they're just guessing. They'll swap out a part, cross their fingers, and just pray the problem doesn't pop up again. We call this replace and pray. And let me tell you, it's expensive, it's inefficient, and it almost never solves the real underlying issue for good. So if the data can't tell us the whole story, what can? Well, the answer is pretty simple. We need to get eyes on the problem, but not just any eyes. We need the power to actually rewind time and see the entire sequence of events that led up to that failure.
Just think about how these failures actually happen in the real world. It's almost never one single sudden thing. It's a chain reaction. Like you see here, a box might get just a tiny bit misaligned way back at station A. Then it gets bumped a little more at station B. And then, bam! The whole line jams down at station C. A normal trigger-based camera system only records the jam itself, so it completely misses the real problem that started all the way back at station A.
And this is so critical, because a lot of these production lines, especially in packaging, are moving way faster than the human eye can even see. A standard camera is just going to give you a blur. It'll miss that subtle vibration or the carton flap that folds wrong in like a 50th of a second. You absolutely need high frame rate video, we're talking 240 frames per second or even more, to literally slow down time and see the physics of what went wrong. Now, this is not about just strapping a GoPro to the side of a machine and calling it a day. To solve this properly, you need a purpose-built, industrial-grade system. And that's where solutions like Linespex come into the picture. They are designed from the ground up for the really harsh environment of a factory floor. So what makes a system like this so different? Well, it's really engineered for this one specific challenge. First, it records continuously for weeks, not hours, so you never ever miss one of those ghosts. Second, it's using industrial cameras that capture at those super high frame rates to see what we can't. Third, and this is key, it plugs right into your machine's data to link cause and effect. And finally, it's super versatile. You can install it permanently or use mobile units to go hunt down problems anywhere in the plant. You know, that ability to record for weeks on end is a total game changer. Just think about this scenario. A machine has that annoying recurring fault on the Friday night shift. The lead engineer might not even hear about it until Monday morning. With a normal system, that video footage is long gone. But with this long-term history, the complete video of the event is sitting right there waiting for them. You never ever miss the smoking gun. Okay, so this brings us to the absolute core of the solution, visual root cause analysis. This whole thing is about connecting that cold, hard machine data directly to the physical world, turning a mystery that could take you days of guesswork into a fix you can spot in just a few minutes. The workflow here is it's incredibly powerful. An engineer pulls up a graph of the machine's performance. They see a little spike in the motor current right before the line stopped. Now, instead of guessing, they just click on that data point on the graph. The system instantly jumps to the exact moment in the high-speed video. And there it is, clear as day. A carton flap folded the wrong way, creating resistance and causing that spike. Problem found, problem solved.
See, this isn't just about having video. It's about making that video speak the same language as your machines. It bridges that critical gap between your operational technology, the world of sensors and control systems, and what's actually physically happening on the plant floor. It's the difference between knowing a problem exists and seeing exactly how to fix it.
And the result of all this is a fundamental shift in how maintenance gets done. You move away from that chaotic, reactive firefighting, running around, guessing, hoping for the best, and you move toward precision maintenance that's based on cold, hard evidence. In fact, global leaders like P&G, Coca-Cola, and Henkel are using exactly this approach to permanently eliminate those recurring problems. And that translates directly to a higher OEE, that's overall equipment effectiveness, and of course, a much healthier bottom line.
So that really just leaves us with one final question. We've talked about the tech, but I want you to think about your own operations for a second. What are those nagging, intermittent problems that nobody ever seems to be able to solve? What ghosts are hiding in your machines? Because with a complete video history, you finally have the tools to go out and catch them.